Yes, we
Thank
are
you.
on.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to welcome you again as we are moving right along. We are already 22 minutes past into, we are late with 22 minutes. So we thank you, ladies, for joining. I know Sunday evenings and Sunday afternoons are just busy as we are preparing for tomorrow. But I would like to welcome each and every one of you, and hopefully we're going to enjoy our session. Can I encourage us, as we are late, I can't ask all of us to introduce ourselves, but I can ask each and every one of us to write on the chat room to tell us where are you joining us from and what is it that you have learned from the book. So now, according to our session, we are on the educate part, because the first part was supposed to be introduction by host, that is me, and introduction by team and participants. And we are now supposed to be on the didactic on healing financial trauma by our author Thembisa Luthuli. And Madam, because we are on 25 minutes, we're still going to give you your 10 minutes, then you will be ending at 6:35. Over to you, my darling.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies. I am honored to be part of this. Thanks to Mulalo for inviting me and including me to your prestige list. As a new author, it's such a privilege. Those who have been in the space will tell you. I'm Thembisa Luthuli, and I've been a financial planner. Just maybe a big background. Obviously, for those who haven't read the book, I have been a financial planner for 11 years. The purpose of the book, basically, when I wrote it I started writing in 2020, a bit of more of a journaling. 2021, a trigger happened that reminded me of my own wounds. So I will maybe just go back that I first realized that I have my own wounds. I'll say around 2018, 2019, when I first started to explore what I call psychology of money. After being a financial planner at that time for about 5 years, helping clients and seeing a lot of behaviors and habits from people around money, I then got interested to know more beside the numbers as well as the coins aspect of money. I went through my own journey of understanding my own emotions when it comes to interaction with money, the relationship that I have with money. I was studying what is called financial coaching at that point. Sorry, excuse me. I've been sick. Mulalo knows, so my voice is not okay. So I was just exploring the topic of financial coaching, which dive into mostly what we call psychology of money, which overlooks what we always aim to understand. It overlooks the numbers, it overlooks the coins, but it gets to understand what's our perception when it comes to money. And it dives deeper into saying actually money is not only the coins that we see in our wallets and the numbers. Money is us. So somewhere in the book, I do write that and say, money is us because money is the reflection of the value that we provide into the world. So the purpose then for me when I started the journey and up until writing the book was to educate people about why is it important to know the foundation, because the foundation is more about what does money mean to me before I can accept the coins and work with the numbers. Because if I don't have the understanding of what is this thing called money, what does it mean, what relationship do I have with it? What have I been taught about it, which then created my beliefs about it. Then my beliefs shapes how I think about it, shapes the attitude that I have, and then subsequently then shape the behavior that I have when it comes to money. So the topic that says healing financial trauma, I define trauma as not what happened to you. So trauma is not what has happened to you, but it's what happened inside of you as a result of what happened. So I would say trauma is the words that have been said to you. It's the actions that you grew up experiencing. It's the things that you experience. That what trauma is. No, the result of those things then is trauma. How then you behave because you were told money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. That fear then, the result of you fearing to be rich, fearing to have wealth, fearing to have anything that has to do or being associated with money because you do not want to be associated with the root of all evils, is actually what trauma is. So that's basically the background and the main aim of saying we have been looking at the physical part of money, but if we really look deep, it hasn't been helping us, especially as the Black community. We get education. I mean, we have been exposed to financial literacy, unlike our parents, but there's still a gap on we're not investing enough. We're not saving. We're still not getting right within our business. So is it really a problem of financial literacy, or there's something more than that? And that's what the book tried to explore, to say, it's not about the money, actually, it's about us. So money is you first, before it become the physical format. So if you can really go inside and find out your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs about money, if they don't serve what you want to achieve, if they don't serve the vision that you want to achieve, there's trauma there, and it needs to be healed, so that when it healed, you then create new thoughts, you create new beliefs, you create everything that will then align with what you want to achieve and where you want to go. So yeah, I think that's the summary of the education part of the book and the purpose. To say you will not be able to invest if you don't understand what are you investing in, why are you investing, but how does that serve you, and what do you believe about those investments. Let's first get to unpack what really goes inside us, within ourselves, our energies, our minds, all those things. So yeah, that's just the summary of it. I haven't even taken the 10-minute, but yeah.
Thank you very much. To be precise, you took only 7 minutes. So thank you very much for just giving us the brief of what the book is all about. But I can see that if most of us, if not all of us, we have experienced that financial trauma one way or the other, because immediately you saying money is the root of all evils, I think all our families, that sentence was said one way or the other. So now, ladies, we're going to move right along as we are going for the case presentation and book discussion by Zamagau. Did I mention your name correctly, my darling? Over to you.
Yes, you did. Thank you. So, good evening, ladies. My name is Zamagau. It's Zamagau Spengane, and I'm also an author. So I was asked by the team to do the case presentation. So I just want to apologize in advance. I'm using my phone. My laptop is acting up, so I won't be able to leave the video on because I'll be using my phone for the case presentation. Is that okay? All righty. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to Sis Thembisa for explaining what the book is about. So just a little bit of a book overview. So this book, for those who haven't read, the title of the book is Healing Financial Trauma. So it's a comprehensive guide which is written by a seasoned financial planner. As Sis Thembisa has said that she's been in the financial planning space for more than 10 years now. So the book focuses on the impact that financial trauma can have on individuals and their relationship with money. So those are some of the focuses of the book. It also explores how our past experiences, like she explained that trauma is, I think it's the product, or it's how you react to the things that happen to you. Maybe they happened to you in the past. So the book explores those past experiences, your beliefs with money, and the emotions that actually shape our financial behaviors and attitudes. So it also like analyzes and it gives us a practical guidance. Maybe I'm gonna mention some of the practical things that she mentions in the book on how we can heal these financial traumas, or the traumas that we experienced as a result of our financial experiences. So this book is like a roadmap. If you are someone, I mean, you can't heal if there's nothing that hurt you. So the fact that they say we are healing financial traumas, it means there's something that happened to you that needs healing. So she also mentioned some of the things that causes our pain. What causes our pain? She says that successful people have figured out how to let go of their bad feelings. So instead of focusing on the positive, instead of focusing on the negative things of, or the negative side of money, they have decided to focus on the positive things that bring them joy. So this was a very comforting statement for me, because sometimes when you experience things, you feel like maybe you are experiencing them maybe because you are poor. But to know that even successful people do have these feelings, but the difference between us and the successful people is that they choose to focus on the positive things. So that is one of the things that she did mention in the book. So it was a very comforting statement, because sometimes we think that things are happening to us, maybe they are unique to us, they don't happen to other people. Gandhi, it's something that is universal. So she also went on to discuss what causes our financial wounds. So to me, a wound is something that hasn't healed. Maybe if she was saying financial scars, then we will know that these people have been healed. But she's talking about wounds. It means this thing is still impacting us in a negative way. So she describes these financial wounds and what actually causes these financial wounds. So she says some of the things that cause us these financial wounds, it's past trauma, the past trauma that is related to money. It's one of the things that causes these financial wounds. She mentions the lack of confidence in your ability to succeed. Let's say you are surrounded by failures, maybe people who didn't follow their dreams, or they didn't have the resources to follow their dreams. So this thing impacts you negatively, because now your belief is limited to what you are exposed to. Now you are thinking that if my mother or my father failed maybe to buy us a house, who am I to buy this house? If my grandparents died without buying a car, so who am I to succeed? So you have this lack of confidence that, you know what, I can't do this because those that I'm exposed to couldn't do it. Even the mistakes that maybe one did in the past, let's say there's a huge financial mistake that you did. Maybe you joined the pyramid scheme. So that thing will cause you a financial wound, because now every time when maybe even a legit investment opportunity comes, when you are still thinking of that wound, of that money that you lost in a pyramid scheme. So I'm just using a pyramid scheme because it's something maybe most of us know. Even the guilt and shame maybe of losing a job. If you have lost your job, it's a wound because you can no longer afford the things that you used to afford. You can no longer go to places that you used to go to. You can no longer eat the food maybe that you used to eat. So it causes that guilt and shame. And you end up isolating yourself, withdrawing from the society, withdrawing from social gatherings, because you have this shame, you have this guilt of saying, you know what will people say now that I'm facing this situation? I used to drive a BMW, but now I'm driving a Tez. What will people say? So it's a wound. It's an ongoing thing that needs you to heal. So what I appreciate about this book is that it even gives you a guideline on how now you can start your healing journey. She mentions that one of the things that you can do is to seek for professional help. I know that sometimes we don't like seeking for professional help when it comes to our finances because of shame. I mean, maybe you are earning a little salary and now you are scared to say, you know what, actually I'm earning 5K. So now you are ashamed of that money that you are earning. So you end up saying, you know what, because when I go to see a professional, it's going to become a problem because I have to be transparent. So she mentions that you need to go and seek for professional help. The same way you would go to a doctor because you are sick, you must go and seek for professional help. You must go and look for a financial planner, maybe a financial coach, because all these people are there so that they can help you. If you are someone who has lost their job, they are there to help you to re-strategize. Yes, you still have your goals, but now maybe you need to adjust a little bit. And for you to know the importance of adjusting, you must seek for professional help. She also mentions she also mentions the part of visualization, to say that you need to have a clear mental image of what you want in your life. What do you want in your life? Have a mental picture, or you need to visualize what you actually want to happen in your life, so that it's going to become easier for you to attain those things that you wish to happen. So this is where a vision board comes in. Write your vision down, write your dreams down, speak them into life. You're going to remember that we are creative beings. We were created by the creator. So now we are also creative beings. It means that we need to be able to speak things to life. We need to be able to imagine things. So you can imagine the first person who came up with an idea of an aeroplane. That person had a mental picture. They had to imagine this thing flying in the air, no traffic in the air. So Nati, as people, we need to have this thing of visualization. So which is something that I also believe and I also practice in my life. Every year I make sure that I write a vision board. I have a mobile one and I have the physical one where I have these bright pictures, so that every morning when I wake up, I can see my dreams. They are there on the wall and I'm now working towards them. So even if there are certain distractions along the way, but I'm able to say, you know what, this is the goal that I'm working towards. So those are some of the things that I learned in the book. And this thing of having coaches, I think 2 weeks back, I was at Gold Reef Toastmasters. So I did my icebreaker speech there. So I mentioned that I believe in mentors and coaches so much. I believe in them because they will save you money and they will save you time. So which is one of the things that Usis Thembisa mentioned in her book. So maybe I can stop there for now before we go to the questions. Over to you, Mama Khadi.
Wow, that is really a summary of the book, Healing Financial Trauma. Thank you, Zamagugu, Zamagau, for taking us through the book. And we are now where we are going to discuss the book. Ladies, we have financial traumas, believe it or not. We have them. And what Sister Thembisa and what Sister Zamagau have just said in outlining the book, just realize that, yeah, I really need to heal from some of the traumas that I have. And having a vision is the way to go. So ladies, it's our time now. The platform is ours. We have about, it's 6:42. We needed to start discussing on the conversation with the author and questions. So we need to empower each other. We are on the conversation. Let's hear the conversation. Let's see hands. Let's see the chat. I see on the chat someone is saying my favorite part of the book was chapter 1. The reason I have not finished reading the book is chapter 1 because I kept on going back to it. I never thought somebody will write such truth about us and money. So can I have somebody to talk to us? Let's see. If we don't raise hands, I'm going to pinpoint on you, Lee. So you better.
Okay, so maybe I can just start. So
Yeah.
I just want to ask Sister Thembisa what motivated her to write a book specifically focused on financial trauma and financial healing. What motivated her to say, you know what, I need to write about this trauma and not just leave it at the trauma stage, but I need to write and give solutions about healing? What was the motivation behind that?
Thank you so much, Zama. And I must thank you for such a good summary and just putting out a case on a book. It does show that you've read it through. Motivation, I'll be honest, it was triggers, right? I had a lot of triggers. But triggers come from the fact that you're now aware, right? So I had to go through a journey of awareness. And awareness means I now understand myself. I now I now understand my surroundings, my environment, as well as the things that scratch me in a bad way, right? So that's a personal journey. That's the one side. The other side was from professional experience of working with people. For those who know, as a financial planner, I probably worked with more than 400 clients. It's difficult to deal with people. Yes, you give them. I'm one of those financial planners who gave a lot of financial education, but you'll find that we still has had a lot of conflict with my client. Conflict of the client will be set on the financial plan, as in they know what they want when they want to achieve this. They probably have the financial resource in terms of they earn well. But somewhere along the way, it's either they drop the ball or they develop anxiety, fear of continuing with the financial plan. They go hayway. They don't follow on the advice. Then for me, it was a more of no. There's something more than financial education and more than getting a good salary. So that was basically the motivation. It's a personal journey that I went through of being aware of my own triggers, financial triggers, as well as the things that scratch me in a very uncomfortable way that I needed to face. I'm a person who loves to share knowledge. I'm an educator, I think by nature. So I like to educate more people. So I thought, why not share what I've experienced, what I've researched professionally, so that other people, even if it means changing one life, if one person can realize out there that there's something called financial wounds, financial traumas, and it actually can be healed. And the good thing about healing is that it's not a once-off event. It's an ongoing journey, and that's the beauty about it. Because you continue going to experience some things, although you are healing, you are still going to experience some of the things that will create more trauma. But because now you've got the awareness and the tools of how to get back up, it then become easy. So it was more creating a tool that people can use in the future and be aware.
Okay, thank you, Sister Thembisa. So maybe last question. How does one know that they have financial wounds? What are the signs that are there to say, you know what, I am wounded. I am a wounded lion. How does one know that I'm reacting like this because I have wounds?
It's very tough, Zamahe, and there are so many people who are wounded and they go out bleeding on other people, aren't they? And when you don't know that you are wounded, you think it's something normal. But one of the main things I think that we've also noticed, even in our families, the uncomfortability of money conversation. The moment you feel uncomfortable in a type of way about financial matters, when there's a conversation about money and it just scrape you in a wrong way, you need to dig deeper and find out why does that make you uncomfortable, right? You know, if there's emotions that you always have before you spend or before money comes in, if you always have triggered emotions when it associates with money, it's either you've got fear. I know a lot of people experience this on payday. They'll have a lot of anxiety. They'll want just to go and spend because there's that fear, values or pay, you know, it's gonna run out. Let me just go and spend. There is a wound and a trauma behind that. Try and find out what makes you fear so much to have money in your account. So check on your emotions that runs when there are events of money. I don't want to say when you spend only, because even when you get the money, that's why we've got things like I blew it, because there is this thing of, oh, I've got so much money, I don't deserve this, right? So the edge is like, I need to spend this thing because now who am I to have millions for life? So there is a lot of trauma behind that. The other one, which is very uncomfortable, if I'm going to see Zama succeeding, which I could be learning from Zama and actually asking her, how did you do it? Rather, I feel envy or jealous, then I show hate, but deep inside, I really want to achieve those things. But instead of Zama, how did you achieve? Please share. You know, I hate on her, I diss her on like uzenza ngono, I think you're better than anyone. Maybe we don't, you know. So check yourself, because sometimes you won't share with Mulalo that, you know what, you know, when you're just being grateful of your things, I feel very, you know, there's something that just comes here and I can't even breathe. Check yourself. What is it that makes you so uncomfortable with success? Because that's usually sometimes the background. We are so uncomfortable, we don't think we deserve wealth, and that's because of trauma, right? So those are some of the few things that you can check. It's the mindset that you have. Do you really believe that everybody who's rich, it's because utwele ezusho or bribe their way there? There is no really a good way of achieving wealth. Check yourself, right? So those are some of the few things that I may mention and more on the book that you can actually try and see on the patterns and the habits.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There is a hand. You can go ahead. I'm not sure who's, I think it's Mulalo. It's you, Mulalo. Your hand is up.
No, it's Malebo. Sorry, it's not Mulalo.
You are on Empowered Woman, so I thought it's Mulalo. You can go ahead, madam.
Oh yeah, I need to change my name. Sorry. Yeah, they put me as a host, so that's why I'm always on Empowered Women. How are you, ladies? I joined late, so I missed half of the session, but I just wanted to give my input, and thank you so much, Thembisa, for your beautiful book, and I really enjoyed it. I did post in the group that I enjoyed meditation, where you talked about, you know, meditating, because I found that meditation really helps you to align with your inner self and be aware of whatever emotions that you're feeling, the awareness that you're talking about, when you need to heal, it makes you more aware, and I love that. But what I like is how you went into the emotion that could lead to financial trauma. You explained the wounds so nicely, from being envious, angry, undeserving, not feeling worthy, low self-esteem, and comparing yourself to others. You really went into depth with that. And I'm also a financial planner, and yes, we struggle as financial planners to get people to commit for a long term because of those things. And you made me aware. I wasn't aware that could be the reason. So I enjoyed this book because it also educated me. I was not aware this is how people are feeling, because you deal with people, they commit to an investment within a year or 2 years, they're out of it. They rather buy commit to expensive cars rather than look at their wealth. So I was asking myself, but this book really gave me a light in terms of the emotions that we need to be aware when we are dealing with people and money. And I wrote a quote here about our triggers. How our triggers remind us of how deep the pain from the wound is. So do not avoid the triggers. Allow them to bring pain so that you can take the first step of healing the wound. That is my favorite quote of the book because, like you said, your triggers could be somebody who's successful. You need to be aware of that. And I even highlighted that in the book because it's one of my favorite quotes. We don't take note of our triggers so many times, and we allow things to go on and on and on, and we find ourselves in a circle. So I really liked how you explained those things. So that is my input. Meditation and the first chapter was one of my favorite chapters of the book. Thank you again, Thembisa.
Thank you so much, Maleba. Thank you so much. That's very insightful. And yeah, I sometimes forget that I wrote some of the things. It's like, yo, okay. Thank you.
We can have one more question or comment. We are running out of time. One more comment or question.
Okay, maybe I can just jump in again for the last time. So I wanted to ask Uguti, are there any challenges or common challenges that your clients face? Just common challenges. Maybe they blow the money or they are not able to use their money wisely. Are there any common challenges that they face?
Okay, I'll talk from my experience and the client base that I dealt with. So 30% of my clients were retirees. So that means it's people that I'll need to advise because they just left work and it's either they've got a big lump sum of money. So a granny coming out with 3 million. The common trend around those people is the fact that one, they've never seen R1 million in their life. So there's this thing of even if it's just 1.2 million rand, they think it will never run out. So it's this deception of not knowing money and being aware of money. They've never run any business. So the common thread is that when I retire, I'll start a business. They blow the money. Within a year or two, this old person doesn't have money that they work for some 30 years or 40 years. They go back applying for a grant. So there is no knowledge of money. It could be lack of financial literacy, but also there's a lot of, again, trauma there because there's also just fear of allowing another person to tell you what to do and trust that person to give good advice. So it was a matter of, okay, you were not there this whole time. I was the one working this money. So you can't tell me what to do with my money. That's the belief. Angengitshela umuntu ngemali yami, right? Then, then 60% of my clients were young professionals, your doctors, your lawyers, your accountant. The common trend there is that they let money define them. So they believe that money actually give you personality. The things that you can buy with money as well will give you respect. So instead of, as you start working, start saving, because that's the good advice. Start saving so that you can actually achieve the wealth that, no, I'll buy a BMW, get myself into a 1 million debt as a 26-year-old just because I want to buy a BMW, and I'll get the societal confirmation that I've made it, right? So the belief is that I always have to prove my self-worth based on the societal standard. So that again is trauma of not knowing ourselves. Who are you? What do you want to achieve, right? So there's no self-awareness there. So that was the main thing about young professionals, of wanting to prove that I have made it, hence making all the wrong decision. Your first salary you already have an overdraft, so you're starting on a back foot. By the time you get to your 6 month salary, you're already in debt. You've got this big car you can no longer maintain. So that was the trend. It's the challenges of having the right mindset. Also, again, I can't listen to anyone else. I've studied so much, so it's my time arrived. So it's mindset and not knowing ourselves, no self-awareness, no knowledge as well. Even though you will give them knowledge, but it's still like, there's still a long way to go. I can still recover. Not knowing not knowing that as you dig deeper the hole, it will be difficult to get out of it.
Yeah, no.
By Busi, you got 2 minutes. Busi Siwengwenya, you had your hand up.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. Yes, thank you so much. When Thembisa was talking about retirees, something just came to mind, that at times it's not so much that people are scared to trust, it's who they trust. Because lately, I'm not sure if you are aware of it, there's a trend of retirees, especially women, being scammed by Ben 10s, where they find this young man who woos them and charms them, and they end up taking all their money, giving it to this person to invest in some business, and the next thing it disappears. So I just thought that at times it's not just that they don't trust you, but it's who they trust.
Thank you for that comment. My comment before we go to the next session of wrapping up and closing would be, I so wish that this education can reach public servants. It hurts me that public servants, nurses, especially, I'm going to talk about nurses because I deal with nurses on a daily basis. We find most of the nurses, when they go to pension, they blow up their monies and now they would depend on moonlighting. And later on, when they can't moonlight, they will come to you and say, pension fund has actually scammed me. So these are the information that I hope, and I don't know how we can make sure that it reaches them, because when you organize things like this, most of them, they don't even attend. They think you're going to scam them, but now they want to chow their money before they pass on and on and on and on, things like that. But thank you very much, Sis Thembisa, for the wonderful book. What I also, when I was browsing through, I saw something that's talked to how to raise financial responsible children. That is my challenge. That is my challenge. My son, when he's got money, he's always blowing it. So after I've not reached the chapter as yet, but I'm hoping that after I read the chapter, I will be able to raise a financial responsible children. So thank you very much. As we are wrapping up, Ma'am Thembisa, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time and write these things, because we really needed to hear them. Some of us, we were not ready when we started reading the book. And as soon as we become ready, we will go into swallow the truth in the book and start practicing what the book is saying. We must improve on that. And thank you again for coming to this session and making sure that we understand what make you write the book, where you come from, and where you are going with this. We really appreciate your time and we really love you. I hope to read your next book. When is it coming out? If you've got a title as yet, please let us know. And please, 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 we will definitely buy the book. Is there a book in the pipeline?
Thank you so much, ladies. And thank you for a warm welcome and all the nice comments as well as the learnings. I've also learned a lot. I don't know, I've been contemplating about the next book. Nothing concrete yet. I still feel this one should spread out as much as possible. A lot of people should get their hands on it. For now, it's this one until the bug hits me again. But I do a lot of education on top of the book. I'm a financial coach by profession, so I do consultations, I do education and everything. Definitely love the session and thank you for choosing my book for the February slot. I really appreciate it. I hope those who haven't read the book as well will read it and definitely do a recommend to everyone. It will help some way, somehow it will help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, ladies, we are nearing our closure. We are already past the 7 o'clock mark, but bear with me. And as we are introducing our March book, that will be Can You Be Trusted with Pain by Nongcebo Ngema. Sis Nongcebo, you are on the platform. Can you please tell us where we can order the book from you, or which bookstore can we be able to get the book?
Hi, ladies, again. Okay, you can get the book mostly from me. There are a few small, very small bookshops that have it, but generally you get it from me. On my WhatsApp number, 0725229894, we can arrange to get it to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sis Nengaba. We will organize ourselves according to provinces and definitely we're going to buy the book. Can You Be Trusted with Pain? And ladies, I see the next review date, Sunday, will be the 31st of March 2024. And according to the calendar, that will be the Easter Sunday. I am not sure of the availability of the ladies, but we can discuss it on our WhatsApp group. I myself, I will not be available, but let's continue discussing as we will be led by our president on that discussion. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, on Facebook, it's ImPower'd Women. On Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, continue reading those books. Let's support our own women authors. We love you, ladies. We love you. Hopefully, you would inspire some of us to write books. But we thank you and we appreciate you. And we hope you grow and write more books and inspire young girls to write books as well. Thank you very much, ladies. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks for facilitating tonight.
Thank you. Before some of you leave the recording, I'm going to stop it and save it. And I'm going to share. Who should I share it with?
Maybe you must share it with Mura.
Okay, thank you. I will definitely do that. Bye, ladies. Love you.
Bye. Love you too.
Bye.